Hey everyone. Oh, sorry about that. Jesus. Hey everyone, how's it going? We'll start the stream in about like 2 seconds. Just let me fix up something on my end so I can actually see the live chat, whatever you want to call it. I can't see it at the moment. Okay, well I'll take off my how do I get rid of this thing? There we go. Sweet, should be able to see me. Okay, just let me move this over so I can actually see the live chat. Okay, that should be good. That's good, okay. Awesome. How's everyone going? We'll be streaming for just over an hour. I have a video coming out in exactly an hour and a half, or an hour and 29 minutes, I guess. So yeah, the front, it's 11:30 a.m. where you are, so I'll probably end the stream around 1:45 p.m. your time. That's an example, so take the front's example for that. All aboard the hype train, yeah, we are banana, we sure are. Can you guys hear the fan in the background? It doesn't look like you should be able to. I'm looking at my mic meter, and it says like you shouldn't be able to hear it, so hopefully you can't. Do I play Star Wars Battlefront 2? I have it. I have not played it in over a month because I was away, and then when I've come back, I really have not touched it. I might go back to it and see what they added after The Last Jedi, because I didn't play it around that time, so yeah. Oh yeah, so I'll just run, actually I might wait a couple more minutes. I'll wait until like the stream's about 5 minutes old. Just wait for some more people to come in, and we'll just go over the guidelines of the streams and what you can do, because obviously some people might be new and some people might still be regulars, but you still might want to know like how everything goes, if that makes sense. Thanks MiniPoo101 for the extremely nice comment, very much appreciated. Thanks Skip Bros, very much appreciated as well, but that was actually a nice comment. Apart from Skip Bros, oh, no, not Skip Bros, who was the other one? MiniPoo, whatever his name was. Do I play FIFA? I do play FIFA. I was actually playing it last night. Very frustrating game, but it's definitely probably the game I play the most. My Discord link is expired. Can other people test that? Because some people have issues joining it and some people are all good with it. So just can a couple of people test that link down below? If it is expired, I'll change it. But like some people said it didn't work yesterday, then some people said it did work. So it was a bit confusing, and more people were saying that it was working than people said that it wasn't working. So yeah, if some people can test that out, then it'd be very much appreciated. What city do I live in? I live in Brisbane, in Australia. So yeah, I'll go through sort of the guidelines now, because everyone's here. So with the stream, just try and not spam in the chat. Most important thing, if you spam, like put all the emojis or spam my name. Like I don't mind if you write Pagey once, but if you write Pagey, and then write your question, I'm not going to answer your question. I'll just acknowledge the comment because it's just annoying. And lots of emojis as well, like putting like 2 rows of emojis in a question, another 2 rows. I'm not going to answer the questions. It's just going to divert me from even looking at it. It's just easier that way, so I'm not acknowledging spam, so then everyone else spams, if that makes sense. You can super chat. Super chat is essentially like donating to the channel, but also you get your question 100% answered. So there is a little emblem. Where's my whiteboard? Everyone loves the whiteboard. If you're new, meet whiteboard. Whiteboard, sorry, is much more popular than I am on this stream. Much more popular. Yeah, there's probably crows in the background. You should be able to hear them. It's pretty early in the morning. So yeah. Super chat is when you click this little emblem just below the message box, I guess. You click that and you can just choose however much you want to donate, and you can ask a question, sorry, that I'll 100% answer, or a comment that I'll 100% read out. One of the two. Either way, whichever one it is that you want. And yeah, that's basically it. So just try and keep spam to a minimum. Or keep spam out of it completely. So no real overuse of emojis. Maybe one emoji is fine, but if you do more than that, then it's just a bit spammy. And the same comment over and over, unless it's a question and I might have not seen it, but don't do it every like 5 seconds. Like, give it a minute or two, and then if I haven't answered it, then keep going. Because sometimes I see questions and they go into the back of my head, and I'll bring them back up. But just don't keep spamming them like every 15 seconds, if that makes sense. If I like, yeah. But yeah, if you really want it answered, Super Chat's the best way because it helps support the channel as well, especially around this time of the year where it's a bit hard. But yeah, let's go into it. So we have Darth Oculus with a $2 Super Chat. Very much appreciated, mate. Thanks for supporting the channel. So yeah, that's an example of Super Chat if you're new. If you Super Chat, it'll pop up like that. And I think if it's like $5 or more, it like stays on the, I don't know, I can't remember how much it is. It's something like that. Do you have Multiverse Flash and Injustice 2? Well, I only bought Injustice 2 to play the story, and then I traded in. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fighting game fan, so I didn't really, I didn't want to be like persistent with it, if that makes sense. Like, keep it around just to play with it. I just wanted to play the storyline. That's what I did. I did some of the multiverse challenges, but I don't think I was ever around. I don't think I had the game long enough to do the like the DC TV ones that came out. Okay, hold on, guys. I'll get another Discord link for you, everyone. Just give me 2 seconds, and I'll put it in there. This one was set never to expire, and it's expired. The only thing I can think of is that if a setting gets changed on the server, then the link becomes irrelevant. Like, it gets cancelled out. So I've just set this one to never expire. I'll exit Discord, and I'm just going to update that Discord link in the description. So hopefully it should be hopefully changed now. Maybe refresh the page like now. It should be sweet now. So the link down there should work. Get a new intro for Supergirl and Legends. I might have to ask the guy that did the Arrow and Flash ones for me and see what he can do. He's a pretty big YouTuber, the guy that made it for me, so I don't really want to hassle him too much. Like, he's got his own channel to focus on about. But I'll see. He did message me about a Crisis on Earth X one. Like, you know how they had that special intro, and he said he could make that type of thing for me, so I might. And he said he was making it. Like, so he might still be in the process of doing that tutorial. So I don't really. I'll ask him, and if it's going to take a while, I'll be like, sweet, just take your time with it, no rush. Thank you, Reese, for the £1 super chat. Very much appreciated. Thanks for supporting the channel. Messi or Ronaldo? I like Messi more. The Flash is too fast. Well, yeah, we'll actually have a video coming out about his speed in the next couple of days. So sometime this week there will be a video out that a lot of people have wanted about Barry's speed and stuff, and I'm going to try and break it down the best I can using different examples. I've already wrote out the notes for the video. I just got to record my voice and obviously edit the video, and I'm going to try and edit it much better, like put in video clips and stuff. Not my usual style where I'm just trying to explain it through my voice. I'll actually put references with the video clips and stuff. The reason I don't do that too much is because copyright, but this is a video where it's going to be like short segments, so it'd be pretty hard for them to copyright me on that one. Where's Earth 1 Supergirl? Well, it could be the simple fact that, like, Krypton never exploded. Like, that's the thing. On Earth 1, Krypton might be still alive and running and just never exploded. I think that's the most simple thing to go with as well. Because it's not like, where's Earth 1 Supergirl? Where's Earth 1 Superman as well? What is better, Minecraft or Roblox? I don't really know much about Roblox, sorry, to be completely honest. Correct me if I'm wrong, is Roblox, sorry, the one where you can do like VR as well? I think I've seen stuff about that, but yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate Legends? Well, probably like a 9. It's been really good this season. It's only had a couple of falters. The main falter was the mid-season finale. I don't think that was a very good episode at all. It's very messy. I haven't watched Legends yet this season. Is it worth watching? Definitely. I definitely watch Legends this season if you haven't. Definitely like watch it throughout the you definitely get through the 8 episodes before. Well, actually, it doesn't come back for another month after the other shows come back. So you got longer to catch up to Legends actually. Martin, that's an example of what not to do. Like, that'll probably get that'll probably get you muted if you do that again. How many character is in Legend? Like the show? Like what is there at the moment? Is there 6 or 7 or something? So they don't really want to keep it more than 8 on the show. Do you think CW will introduce a Justice League like Warner Brothers? I'd highly doubt it. I'd be surprised if they did. Did you know that the number from Barry's mugshot photo is the same number of the release date of the comic book Trial of the Flash? Yeah, and the other number is the actual issue number as well that the trial started, I'm pretty sure. I mentioned that in my trailer breakdown from like whenever it came out, like the first one, like a month or a half ago or something. If you go watch that video, I actually mentioned that that's an Easter egg already in the trailer. His little photo number thing. What would you rate Arrow out of 10? This season, maybe a 6. But you could definitely go, it's like an 8 in the back half if they, what do you call it? Drop some storylines that's going on at the moment. Pagey, please stop copying the DC TV show. Awkward. Do you think Killer Frost will ever turn bad again? There might be like struggles. I don't think it's ever going to go to a point where she's bad again. I think she's past that point. But there might be like an episode where she she struggles with it. Like, I'm assuming in the back half there will be like a side arc with her while all this stuff is going on, where she's struggling with her inner Killer Frost and trying to control it. Ninja O Ninja 2, I think that's how you say that name, with the $5 super chat, very much appreciated. Hey Pagey, what do you think about Ralph / the Elongated Man's character in season 4 of The Flash? And do you think he will stay? I love the character. Great question. Thank you for the super chat as well. I actually have a video coming out on Ralph. It's not my video coming out in just over an hour. It's a video coming out a couple of hours after that. But I love Ralph. I think he's been a really good addition. I think people are bashing on the character for no reason. Everyone's calling him misogynistic, but I think that's the whole point. That's what they were going for, to show some change in him. Show he's a bit of a sleaze as well, but like deep down he wasn't really like that. That was how he coped with what happened to him beforehand with the whole what do you call it? Like when he got fired from the CCPD and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the character, and I think he will stay as long as people come around to him. But the thing is, even if I don't think necessarily people will like him a lot, I think people will still keep him on, just due to the fact that if there's story to go with him, then they'll keep him on. If there's stuff that they can fill in the next season with, like a Ralph story, or he's at least can play into that, then they'll keep him around. It'd sort of be silly not to keep him around. So yeah, I think he will stay, and I'm really enjoying him in season 4, and hopefully everyone else is. Reese with the £2 super chat, very much appreciated. Will Barry reveal himself? What will happen if so? Well, if you watch my video from yesterday, you'll get my sort of take on what I think is going to happen. It does sound like it's something that they would do, and a lot of people did seem to agree with me as to that's what will happen. So it's sort of like Barry. It's not really Barry revealing himself, what I get to in that video. It's more Barry giving up something, if that makes sense. But I don't really want to spoil it in the stream, because I'd rather people just went and watch the video, you know what I mean? And also, I can't really go into too much detail on the stream. In the video, I break it down really well, and condense all the information that, needs to be condensed. Come to New York Comic Con this year. When is it's in October, isn't it? I want to go to New York this year, but I was going to go in July in the off season. I think New York Comic Con's in, I think it's early October. I could still go, maybe September. I'll have to wait and see. I wouldn't mind going. It'd be pretty cool. I wanted to go to San Diego Comic Con, but it's a bit of an effort. It's a bit of an effort. It's too crazy, and yeah. Well, I wait and see. You have to book so far in advance. New York Comic Con isn't so far of an advanced book, but San Diego is. So I might go New York. We'll have to wait and see. Are you guy? I am a guy. I'm not a girl. Do you have a favorite Marvel superhero? It's always been Spider-Man. It's always been Spider-Man. I do like the X-Men though, but that's a group. But X-Men, but as an individual, I have to be Spider-Man as well. Darth Oculus with the $5 super chat, very much appreciated. Hi Pagey, do you think they will ever introduce Power Girl on Supergirl, and what would be the best way if they do? Well, I remember was it during season 2 or was it leading up to season 2? It was one. I think it might have been leading up to season 2 because it was when Supergirl had gone from CBS or whatever channel it was to the CW, so it was on the same channel as Flash, Arrow, and Legends. And there had been talk of like, are they going to merge Earths? And then I think Andrew Kreisberg, who's not there anymore, obviously, talked about Power Girl and the possibility of her coming in as like an Earth 1 fit. But they could do that because the thing is, in the comics, not Earth 1, Supergirl is always meant to be like younger, like teenager to early 20s, while Power Girl is in like a late 20s, bordering 30s. So they could do it where like it's a future version from another Earth. That's what they could do with Power Girl. They might change up her look because I don't think it's very suitable for what they would go with on the show, with the boob window and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's definitely possible that we could see. Oh, sorry, I've just scrolled down here. That was a mistake. There we go. But yeah, I think it's definitely possible that we could see Power Girl and Supergirl. And as I said, like the best way they could possibly do it would be with some like sort of future thing. I think that's probably the best way they could go about it because, as I said, Power Girl's meant to be a bit, older than like Supergirl, even though they are doppelgangers. She's meant to be older most of the time. So I think that's what they could do. Like it's a Earth 47 version of Kara Danvers or something. Is Iris still a reporter or is she quitting getting a new job? Well, I did a video on this and essentially to like sum it up, she doesn't know. The actress doesn't know if Iris is still a reporter or not. So it's a bit messy, that whole situation. I'm 24. That's how old I am. Oh, okay, something the super chat just went away. I sort of freaked out. Something like glitched on my screen. I was like, oh no, the super chat from Darth went away. Legends of Tomorrow is getting cancelled, Pagey. It's getting... Well, it's not, but... Okay. When will we see another Wells? I don't know. They said this season we might be getting another Wells, but the thing is that... they could have been talking about the Council of Wells. That's who they could have been talking about. So we might have already seen him. Or hymns. Why exactly did Citizen Cold stay on Earth 1? They didn't really give a good reason. Just like, oh, I wanted to stay around. Just help around for a bit. Like, there was real no reason for it. I think it was just so they had a version of Leonard Snart on the wave ride for a bit. Mike, haven't seen any comments you've written, mate. That's why I'm saying, if you really want your thing, you got to super chat. That's why, like, Darth and Ninja and stuff got their questions 100% read. Because there's so many people commenting, I'm not going to be able to see every single comment. That's just how it is. So don't call me an asshole for not seeing a comment, because as I said, it's pretty hard for me to read every single comment. I think it's a pretty stupid comment, to be completely honest. Which DC character should have their own TV show? I don't know. I think like they've got like pretty set on like the DC TV stuff. Like maybe Booster Gold would be pretty cool, but it'd be pretty hard at the same time to get right. I can't think of any off the top of my head, to be completely honest. I'm not sad, I've just woken up, so I'm pretty tired. That's exactly why I might look a bit down. Oh, not down, just a bit like deactive, if that makes sense. Just give me 2 seconds. I just need to write something down on my phone for later on. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about this. Okay, there we go. Jared, can you avoid doing those emojis? Because there was a question I wanted to read, then you spammed the emojis and it went all the way up. So, be very much appreciated if you didn't do that anymore. The Legion sucks. The Smallville version was way better. Yeah, the Legion on Supergirl looks a bit average. Like, at least on Smallville, it was exciting. On Supergirl, it just looks a bit average. Like, I'm more excited for Rain than I am for the Supergirl stuff, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, okay, Jaws is in here. Jaws, can you just help out with the spamming of the emojis and stuff like that? So hopefully, if there's a mod in here now, guys. So if you like do spam like the emojis and stuff, you're probably gonna get timed out. So it's not really worth it in my opinion. Okay, well. Was Constantine talking about Malice or some other demon? So what Xylent Raid, I think it was. I think that's what the name was. He's talking about is at the end of Legends. It might be, but the fact that the whatever's controlling that little girl is saying is Sarah makes you think it probably is Malice. Also, in episode 10, it's meant to be the first time we see Malice, so it makes sense if Malice was controlling her. I don't know if that's meant to be a younger version of Eleanor Dark either. It's sort of confusing. The black hair and stuff makes me think that maybe it's not Eleanor Dark, because like she's always had what do you call it, like brunette hair. So I don't know if it's necessarily a young version of her, unless she went like black hair stage for a bit. But how do you super chat? You super chat by clicking the little let me drag my OBS over so I can see what the hell I'm doing. If this is working, you click this little emblem down here. It's like a little dollar sign, and you go send a super chat, and then you can just drag it up and down, whatever you want to do, and then you just type a message in like, what is weather? It should be what is the weather, or what's the weather like, but what is weather? Like that's an example of what you could do there, and then you go buy and send. That's a super chat. So yeah. I can't remember who was asking that, I just saw it at the top of the thing. Yeah, I thought it was pronounced Xylent. That's what I thought it would have been, yeah. Who do you think will die in Arrow this season? Probably Caden James. But yeah, probably, I think Caden James. Probably the best way to go. I really hope CW brings back Constantine and puts it in Supernatural's time slot since it's ending this year. Is Supernatural ending this year though? Like, is it actually ending? Because I don't know if it actually is or not. Like, I don't know if they'd ever end that show. If they have confirmed it, then maybe, but yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of slots. I guess I think if they were going to put what do you call it? Constantine back on the CW, they'd probably have to remove another DC show, if that makes sense. Will I be reviewing Black Lightning? Yeah, Black Lightning will be reviewed on the channel. My video that's coming out in just over an hour is actually Black Lightning. All the new stuffs. They released some new stuff that I don't think anyone's talked about yet. So be sure to check that out. And yeah, we'll go over some cool stuff about Black Lightning. Thanks, Cody, for the $1 super chat. Very much appreciated, mate. Thanks for that. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm just keen to see how it actually plays out, because you can watch as many promos as you want. But it's more about like what actually happens in the episodes and stuff like that I'm excited for. Do I get a lot of what was it, spiders in Australia? Sometimes, not really. Like, you just get big ones. Like, that's probably the best. You just get big ones. I don't think you necessarily get like a massive abundance of them. You just get fat huntsman spiders. Like, if you don't know what a huntsman spider is, you can Google it. I might look it up on my phone right now and show you guys what a huntsman spider is. They don't really, they're actually good for the house. Like, they look creepy as hell, but they like eat the smaller bugs. Okay, some people might get like freaked out by the look of this. Okay, so how can I zoom in on that? Oh god, that was way too, that scared me. Okay, okay, this is the photo I want, but it's not letting me click at it. Okay, I think I've got it. Okay, here we go. I look like an idiot, don't I? I can't work a phone. Okay, there we go. What the hell? Okay. Can anyone see that? That's what a huntsman spider is. Okay, and they're like trying to, like, they can probably grow like the size of the palm of your hand, if not bigger. Actually, bigger. Now that I think about it, much bigger. Like, they can get much bigger than that. They're huge. But yeah, like Google YouTube videos, and you'll see a lot of videos of like people in Australia trying to catch the huntsman spiders and stuff, and they're huge. They're massive. I love you, man. How do I watch Superhero Fight Club? Like the first two, they should be on YouTube somewhere. Just type in Superhero Fight Club, I guess. What happened to Harley Rathaway? That's a big question that a lot of people ask. Who knows? How is the Reverse Flash back? Convenience, I think, is the biggest reason. Definitely convenience. Yeah, I think convenience is definitely the big one, but I'd have to say, because he's always existing through time, because he's always, he's displaced through time. That's the best way to put it. So he's always existing. I guess the biggest issue they face, and the one which would be a bit silly if they brought it up, is if they bring an earbud that's like after he should have died, if that makes sense. If that's one that they bring back, then it shouldn't make sense. What happened to General Eiling? Well, I just don't think it's necessary to have him back, to be completely honest. Like, he was relevant to the storyline he was in. I don't necessarily think he's necessary anymore. I'll be streaming for about another 45 minutes roughly. But I'll give everyone like a 10-minute warning before we wrap up the stream. What is your favourite episode of The Flash? Oh, God. That's a big one. I did like the Once and Future Flash episode from last season, which is funny because I didn't really like the back half of Season 3, to be completely honest. And that was like, one of the last episodes, like the 4th or 5th last episode. No, Jaws is doing well. Jaws is timing out the right question, the right comments. Jaws is he's actually doing a decent job. He could be spamming, not spamming, like timing out more people that are writing sort of silly comments. But he's timing out who needs to be timed out. So don't bash on Jaws. Don't bash on Jaws. I can't think off the top of my head. Like last season, probably the Once and Future Flash episode was one of my favorites. And I guess the Wrath of Savitar was a pretty good episode. Was it the Wrath of Savitar? Savitar, sorry. I think that was the episode title. That was a pretty decent one as well. Have you heard the theory that Dawn Allen was interested in Barry? Well, it's not really a theory. It's what happens in the comics. Like that's not, I mentioned that in my video. It's like, well, I didn't say it was a theory. I just mentioned it. Like that's probably why, if it was Dawn, why she was so excited to see Barry. Because in the comics, Barry dies in Crisis before they get to know her. They get to know him. Sorry, so they actually never met him. But then it could be the same for Jenny Ognats. Like she never met her grandfather, maybe. But then again, if they go down that route, like that means like Barry's gonna die in the next 10 years, especially if they have those kids now, like pretty soon. So I don't know if they're gonna go with that. That might just be like a little nod to the fact that in the comics, like they haven't met. So do you have a guess of who Godspeed is? Well, in the comics, he's August Hart, so I'm assuming on the show they'd probably make him August Hart as well. So that's why I don't think doing Godspeed's like that good of an idea, because his plot line and how they probably have to introduce him on the show, if they went very comic book like, everyone would be able to pick it out straight away. Even if you did a simple Google, you'd be picking out in the first couple of episodes what's going on. Also, there's a confusion around Godspeed. A lot of people think Godspeed's a villain. Godspeed isn't a villain. He's a vigilante who just, you know, incites or brings upon justice in a way that, you know, the Flash is like, maybe that's not the best idea. So he's not really a villain. He's a vigilante, which that would be an interesting concept for a show, but he really wouldn't be a bad guy, if that makes sense. Andy, you haven't seen one of your comments at all, mate, so I don't know if that's just a comment there to get my attention, but I've literally not seen one comment that you've, or question that you've written, so sorry about that. As I said, if I don't read your, if I haven't read your comment, don't like get angry in the chat, because the thing is, you're most likely gonna write something silly that's just gonna annoy me, and I'm probably just not gonna read your comment after that. Like, let's be completely honest. Like, would you read something that someone's after they've like sworn at you and called you an idiot or called you something else? Probably not. So it's probably best not to like rage out in the comments like that. Thank you, Sam, for the $5 super chat. Very much appreciated. Oh, sorry. I've only woke up like 40 minutes ago, and I'm sort of still sick at the moment. So, like, without getting into too much detail, my throat sort of hurts. I sent an additional tweet of how Lady Shiva could find out the truth about her family's death in the first place, so check it out. Sorry I'm late. It's okay, Sam. It's never too late to join. We'll still stream for another about 40 minutes or so. But yeah, I think I saw that. I think I had a quick look at Twitter before it came on, but I didn't really look too much into it. So I'll go on my phone right now and I'll try and find that tweet and I'll like it. I was going to say favorite, but that's not a thing anymore, is it? I found it. Okay. I just liked it then. Okay, there we go. Thanks for that, Sam. Could we see Zoom return this season? I'd be very surprised if we saw Zoom return at all. If he did, he'd probably be on Arrow for Black Siren flashbacks. I agree with your theory, as in which one? The one I just talked about then about Dawn Allen, or the one I did in my video yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, you can't super chat on iOS, so if you can't see the this little symbol over here, this little $, then you probably can't super chat. I think on iOS it's non-existent at the moment. I'm not too sure why. Might have something to do with the fact that Google owns YouTube. But I think on Android you can. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I haven't really tested it, to be completely honest. Ooh. Saboteur will return. Hopefully not. I don't really care for Saboteur, to be completely honest. I didn't get the notification for this. It doesn't surprise me. YouTube's terrible. It's just sending out notifications as a whole. When will it come out? What's coming out? Oh, my eye. Who is your favourite speedster? Well, probably Barry. Evil, probably. I did like Zoom, but probably Reverse Flash. Yeah, I think with Super Chat, it's just basically on computer, and like you have to be in a certain country. Like not every country has. Like there's a big list. There's a lot of the countries in the world, but not every single country has it for some reason. I don't know why, because it's like done through like Google. So you think it'd be the whole world would be able to do it. And then with the devices, I don't know, it's a bit weird. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Welcome, Bavesh. I think that's how you pronounce it, hopefully. Do you watch Gravity Falls? Is that like that animated show that's like on the same channel as Rick and Morty? I've heard of it, I think, if that's what you're talking about, but I've never watched it. I don't really see how you can say the Legion is average when we have barely seen them in action yet. No, what I'm saying is that when it was on Smallville, I was hyped for it, just from the sound of it. But on Supergirl, I'm more excited for Rain. So it sort of takes away some of that excitement for the Legion, if that makes sense. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to be crap, because I haven't watched it. They could have chosen some better characters to appear on the Legion, but we might see that later in the season. But I'm more excited for the Reign stuff on Supergirl in comparison to the Legion stuff. Robert, thanks for the £5 super chat. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Sorry, can't speak. It's a bit too early. We were having a conversation in Discord yesterday about whether Quentin knows that Barry is the Flash, and he hasn't been in any crossover. Great vids. That's true. Like, Quentin was in that one episode in the Flash season 4, but yeah, he wouldn't. Would he know? Unless it's like, yeah, because I doubt it's like it just goes around, like them spreading the identity, like, because Barry might not want Quentin to know that he's the Flash. That's actually a good. Yeah, I've actually never thought about that, to be completely honest. Like, Quentin's been on the Flash, but he doesn't know that Barry's the Flash. Like, that was just an episode in season 1 when they were trying to figure out the whole Harrison Wells murder thing. So, that's actually really interesting. I don't think he does know. You'd have to say he doesn't know. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't think Quentin would know. We'll have to wait and see eventually if they ever do something where Quentin might meet Barry. But yeah, I doubt he knows at the moment, to be completely honest. Any ideas about how they will defeat DeVoe? Well, I guess Cerebral Inhibitor is the top one, but I think that's just going to play a part in it. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the be-all and end-all and the reason as to why DeVoe is defeated, or the way in which DeVoe is defeated. I think it's just going to be what do you call it? Like a part of the plan, if that makes sense. Do you think Harry will die in a future season? Hopefully not. I think he's too valuable to the show to get rid of. Who do you think, was it Oliver's secret ally or unlikely ally will be in 6x10, the mid-season premiere? You think it'd have to be someone someone who has an ability to, sort of counter some of the stuff that Caden James does? So, maybe like a computer person. A lot of people say Black Siren. I don't think they're going to do that this early. It could be Anatoly. Who knows? Maybe Anatoly gets really frustrated with, like, what's going on in that cabal, so he's like, stuff it, I'm gonna go to Oliver, which will be a big turn from what happened early in the season. But yeah, thanks Dylan Blakely for the $5 super chat. I have 2 friends that hate Iris West because she is demanding, conceited, and bossy. Thoughts? Well, I think she's bossy because they've written her to be the boss this season. There's issues with the Iris character. Like, even if you love Iris, you gotta admit, like, she's in a place where she probably doesn't deserve to be or need to be. But they have to put her in that position because she's the lead female character. They have to make her relevant in some way. And they can't... well, they're probably scared. That's probably the best way to put it. They're scared on... like, spending time on a storyline dedicated just to her, so like the newspaper stuff. They're probably scared to do that, because in season 1, when they had elements of that, people did complain because they wanted, we want just to see the Flash. We want to see the Flash. But if this was season 4 and we're getting that same sort of time spent with Iris and what she was doing in the newspaper stuff, I don't think people would be complaining because it wouldn't be too bad. I think it was more in season 1 where you wanted to see all Barry all the time. That's when people were getting frustrated from seeing Iris' sort of blog storyline. But I don't know, hopefully they figure that out the next couple of hopefully they sort of plant seeds towards the end of this season, and then they can do it next season in regards to Iris. But yeah, she is sort of those 3 things, but as I said, it's more, I don't think it's like to the point where it's like, she's definitely, like, that's 3 of her characteristics. She just displays those sometimes, but it's more the position that she's in and the way she's being written because of the position she's in that they need to change and hopefully fix up going into next season. But thanks for the super chat. It's very much appreciated, Dylan, and thanks for the question. Do you think that near the finale, Barry will be controlled by the Thinker? If anything, it could be like maybe like Wally might be controlled by the Thinker. I don't necessarily know if it'll be Barry. I think Barry's got enough going on this season where I don't think they really need to make him controlled by the Thinker. I think it could be yeah, Wally, to be completely honest. If the CW can't use the Green Lantern core, can they use the other Lantern cores? Well, I think there's real no point if you don't have the Green Lantern core. Like, what they're gonna start using. Is that so they can do the Blue Lantern Flash? Because I don't think there's real any point of that if you don't have the Green Lantern core. That's just my opinion, though. Do you think that the DCU should be rebooted and made into TV shows? No, because I like the DCU. I like the tone that they go for. I like the sort of themes they go for. It's just the execution that needs to be done better. Do you think this season will end with a cliffhanger? Please answer. As in The Flash? Probably. I wouldn't be. I thought the cliffhanger might have been like DeVoe getting murdered and Barry being charged with it. What we got in the mid-season finale. So they sort of flipped what I thought was going to happen. So maybe, I guess it could just be maybe be a big villain tease, maybe similar to what Supergirl did last season when you saw Rain getting like shot off. That could be what they do, like the setup for the villain. Like it could be Eddie. Like imagine this, like Cobalt Blue's the villain for season 5. It's like an end credit scene. You see like a portal open. You're like, what the hell is that? And then Eddie Thawne pops out with like a sword. Cobalt Blue. That'd be pretty awesome. And that's like the cliffhanger. And he's like, and he's got like, like a body pops out, and you see like an amulet that Cobalt Blue wears, something like that. Something that like teases Cobalt Blue. That'd be pretty cool. Or you see like a glowing sword, come out of a portal, something along those lines. Are you going to make a Draw My Life video? No, because this isn't 2014, where I think Draw My Life's are like sort of relevant, and also like I sort of didn't like those videos. They're a bit over, like it's been like proven that people over dramatize something and made up stuff to make their Draw My Life interesting. It was like, well, that just sort of defeats the concept. Like you're sort of meant to make it truthful, and people just like flat out lied in their Draw My Life to make it more interesting than others. Like I don't know, I can't remember who it was, but there was like a beauty YouTuber who like made up that she was abused by a boyfriend in the past life, and like people in her life tracked it back to like when this boyfriend would have been, and they found it out and they approached him, and it was not true. Like she had made it up for her video. Who do you think will go to Legends? Well, I made a video on that the other day, so you can go check that out if you want. I go into more detail like why these certain characters should or shouldn't go to Legends and like the pros and cons of it. With one character, it's basically one big con why you shouldn't go. But yeah, I won't spoil that, so definitely go check that video out. Go into much more details. 10 more days until that episode, right? Episode 10. No, 9. Or actually, yeah, 10. Sorry. I was going off the 16th in Australia, but it comes out 16th America, which is 17th in Australia. So yeah, 10 days. Well, like 10 days and like what? Like 4 hours or something? Do you think Jesse Quick's team could be Young Justice with Earth 2 Artemis, Roy and Wally? I think it's more of like basically a Team Flash. Like there might be some powered people there, but it's more of a younger team that's working with her, similar to what Barry has with Team Flash. And just her dad didn't fit it, might I say. I think that's what it most likely is. When are the episodes coming back? In just over a week. Do I watch iZombie? Yes, I do. I can't wait for it to come back. I think it comes back in April. I think that's when it came back last year, so it should be coming around the same time this year as well. When will Barry get to light speed? Well, funnily enough, I'm doing a video on that in the next couple of days about Barry's thing. Barry's probably never going to get to light speed. The whole thing is like Barry, like the whole thing is like, oh, to travel back in time, you need to travel at the speed of light. But with Barry, it's a bit different. He travels through time through Speed Force energy. Like they've pretty much established that on the show. Because yeah, for anyone normal to like scientifically wise, like that with this. We Are Science, they've said like to travel back in time, it's like speed of light. But Barry went back in time like at Mach 2 or at Mach 3 or something. So they sort of like contradict themselves on that with the show. So hopefully, I don't think, oh, it's not hopefully, but I don't think we'll ever see Barry run at the speed of light because it's just too fast. That's like, I think it's like 687 million miles per hour or something, which is ridiculous. The fastest Barry's ever gone is something like 20,000 miles per hour or something. So, yeah. I don't think we're ever going to see Barry run at the speed of light. It's confusing. The whole speed thing, I go over in my video in the next couple of days. It's best just to wait until then. Because I'll probably get some information wrong if I just go off the top of my head. Rather than what I actually wrote down in my notes. Do you watch The Punisher at all? Yeah, I watched The Punisher. I enjoyed it a lot. It went for a bit too long. It should have been maybe 10 episodes. It didn't need to be 13. It just dragged on a bit in certain areas. But yeah, it was good. I don't think it was my favourite Marvel show. Like Daredevil season 1 and 2 are better. But it was still very enjoyable. I'm excited to see what they can do with the future with it. Black Lightning is a 13 episode season because it's starting late. So it's basically like a Legends season. Oh no, it's not like Legends season 1 because I think Legends season 1 was like 16 or 17 episodes. But yeah, it's 13 episode season for Black Lightning season 1, which I think is a good amount just to introduce the character and stuff like that. $5 super chat from Sam, very much appreciated. Everyone in Discord is fond of the Lady Shiva idea. When do you want? Is there a Prometheus Funko Pop that can be collected Mega Channel crossover times? The Mega crossover will be basically probably this time next week. When I'm streaming now, that's when we'll do the crossover next week. So this time next week, wherever it is where you're from, I'll be doing a stream with myself. I'll be hosting it myself, DJ Eric, Boba Talks, and DC TV Show. We'll all be on here, like we've done on other channels beforehand. So just having a chat, answering questions, all that good stuff. And the setup will basically be like this, but I'll include something where you'll be able to see like who's talking and stuff like that on Discord. Oh, what was the other question from Sam? There was another one, wasn't there? Is there a Prometheus Funko Pop that can be collected? No, and there probably won't be. I'd be very sort of surprised if they did release one. It'd be pretty cool if they did, but I don't think they will. Apparently, they're meant to be releasing like 6 more like CW DC TV show pops in the next couple of months. It'll probably be like 1 or 2. It'll be like probably a Supergirl one, maybe like a new Flash suit one, and then like a Killer Froster vibe one. Maybe like a Wild Dog one, maybe a Black Siren one, and then maybe something from Legends, maybe like a Citizen Steel or a Vixen or something like that. That's probably what we're going to get. They'll probably all be heroes. I don't think they're going to be any villains. Which is a shame, because they probably should do some more villains. Or they might release a Savitar one, like one of those 6-inch pops, maybe. Or they could just release a normal size one. But a Savitar pop wouldn't be too bad, because I did like the suit. I just didn't like the actual ending sort of story for that character. Why wasn't the speedster from Earth X Barry? I think they explained that. I haven't watched the Ray yet. Bad because I was away when it came out, so I'm still yet to watch it. But apparently, like an interview about that, they explained why it wasn't Barry in the thing. So if anyone has any clarification on why that was, please leave that in the comments, because yeah, I haven't really read that interview. What do you think about the Mon-El situation on Supergirl? That or that? Probably that, because I think Mon-El's eventually going to go. He's a bit of a burden on the show. Like, he just sort of weighs down the show a bit too much. I like him as a character, for the most part, but whenever it's like the whole thing with him and Kara, it's just like, move on. Like, this doesn't work. Just it's a bad relationship on the show. I don't like it too much. So the sooner it's gone, the better. And I think it's just this whole marriage that he's in the moment with Imra is just to create drama. So yeah, hopefully it's sorted out sooner rather than later. And I think Mon-El will go back to the 31st century come the end of the season. There's no real place for him on Supergirl at the moment. So I think he'll go. I'd be very surprised if he stayed around into next season. Do you think they'll do a Supergirl crossover with another CW show, not with Flash? Probably not. It'll probably just be Flash, because they sort of work well together. Wouldn't work well with Arrow, I don't think. Legends possibly, but how do the Legends get integrated into that unless they can start traveling through the multiverse. Have I watched Jane the Virgin? Nah. Would you like to see a Birds of Prey spin-off show? Yeah, if they got the characters right. Like, they have to choose the correct couple of or handful of characters to put on the show. Like, don't just pick 3 or 4 female characters and go, this'll work. Pick 3 or 4 female characters that will work. Like, spend your time on, like, developing it. And make sure there's actually, like, character growth for them. So don't pick Thea, because I don't think there's enough character growth there for her. You pick someone that's fairly new, someone that's sort of new, someone that is new, and then, like, maybe one experienced person. See you, Splurriverse. What happened to Tracy Brand? Who knows? Who knows when she's coming back? You super chat by clicking the little this little thing down here. So you click it, go like that, and then you can choose whatever amount you want to choose. And then if you just donate $1, it's just $1, but anything more than $2, you can write a message. So that's pretty cool. How do I get out of this? There we go. And where's my OBS? There it is. Where and when is Titans happening? I don't know. We'll probably get it established. It's definitely not going to be on any Earth we have at the moment, I don't think. Just because Batman's involved, unless they set it up maybe on Supergirl's Earth. But even then, I think that's a bit of a stretch. So I wouldn't be expecting it to come to any of the what do you call it? The Earths we already have established. Do you think William will become Donna? I was gonna say Donna Hawk, Donna Smoke, having like triggered flashbacks. Connor Hawk, probably not. I think they might sort something out with William this season where maybe he's not on the show anymore, at least not as a big of a role. Just because Williams' storyline, just Williams' involvement has sort of been a bit of a drag this season. It's not the actor's fault. It's just the writing around it. It's just really like, who cares? Like, who cares about it? So hopefully they fix that. Can I ban Lewis Reed? What's he writing? Honestly, I haven't seen any of his comments, to be completely honest. Am I hungry? Not really. Maybe like an hour I will be, but at the moment I am not hungry. I'm not that. Am I back? Yeah, I got back like a week ago. So I've been back for a week. Didn't Julian move back to London? Yeah, he did. Yeah. Do you think Alex will ever get superpowers in Alex Danvers? Probably not. They probably want to keep her as that, like, just normal character. Like, nothing going on with her. What if Felicity, Donna, and Iris had a solo series? Well, I don't know where Iris would really get tied into that. If Felicity and Donna had a solo series, I'd be like, oh, well, no one's going to watch this. This will get cancelled after the first episode. I'd probably watch it for a meme, to be completely honest. Is YouTube your full-time job? Yeah, it is. That's why, like, when you you super chat and stuff, it helps, because the thing is, the reason I did YouTube full-time is because I wouldn't have been able to do it if it wasn't full-time. Like, the stuff I had to focus on, the timings of certain things, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it to this extent if I was working elsewhere. So I took it on full-time because I enjoyed doing it so much that like I sort of had to meet the demand of what I was doing. So I do it full-time at the moment. That's why when you super chat and stuff, it's very much appreciated. Oh, well, I'm not surprised someone's like said that in the chat. I've seen worse, don't worry. What happened to Crisis Wally? Is in like the crossover? He just went like babysitted Joe and Cecile. I think that's exactly what happened. It's 8:30 in England. England is my city. Is it now? 8:30? Oh yeah, it would be 8:30, yeah. Is the same actor that plays Drake on iZombie the same as Gerda? Yeah, he plays, yeah. They're the same. That's why it was sort of funny when he came back for that season. Was it the season 2 episode or season 3? I think it was season 2 when he came back for the season 2 episode. And, yeah, it was when Barry was the runaway dinosaur. It's when Barry was stuck on the Speed Force. when he comes back and he's like a zombie. That's why it was sort of funny, because he was on iZombie and he, spoiler alert, he becomes a zombie. Is Titans on the CW? No, it's on the DC streaming service. Thank you, Tharun. I think that's how you pronounce that, for the £1 super chat. Very much appreciated. My favorite character in iZombie is probably Ravi. I think most people will relate to Ravi the most. If you haven't watched iZombie, definitely watch it. Very much, like, you should watch it. Did you watch The End of the Effing World yet? No, I've heard it's on Netflix. I heard it's. I haven't actually heard anything about it, but I've seen the trailer for it. How do you super chat on your mobile device? I can't see how. You can't. You have to do it on your computer. Yeah. You can't do it on. I think you can do it on Android, maybe. I'm not too sure, but I know on iOS, like iPhones and stuff, and iPads, you can't. How much do you think the DC streaming service will cost? Anywhere between $10 and $20, probably. I guess it just depends how much content's on there. How tall am I? I'm 6'1" and like a third or something. I'm just over 6'1". Why does your Patreon page say 0 supporters? Because I made the Patreon like ages ago. It was like when Patreon was a big thing. Like, I'm not even joking. I think I made that Patreon like over 2 years ago. It's when like Patreon first started blowing up, and I sort of made it just to see what it was like. But I never launched it. So that's why I was like, if you noticed, I don't even know. Is it on my YouTube? It's actually on my YouTube channel. If it is, I might take it off because I'm not going to use it. I'm actually sort of surprised if it is there. It's not there. How'd you find the Patreon then? That's weird. Disney's making a streaming service. Will you get an account? Well, it matters what they offer. If it's just like the same stuff, then probably not. If they're making original content, then I might, but... Oh, you looked it up. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Like, it's not going to be used, so... I didn't even know it was still around. Like, I honestly haven't touched it for God knows how long. V Lena with the $2 super chat, very much appreciated. Thanks for supporting the channel. Like, I think nowadays with YouTube, it's not really worth doing Patreon, especially what's happening soon. Like, if you don't know what's happening, so obviously you know how you can super chat on here. Like, V Lena just super chatted $2. If you watch gaming channels, you might be able to notice that if you watch some gaming streams on YouTube, I don't know if anyone does, there's a thing called sponsoring now, which is almost like being a Patreon or a patron to someone's Patreon, where you sponsor, and it's like $5. So every month you're like donating $5, but you get a lot of different features and stuff like that. I think I can make the chat so only sponsors could talk if it got to that point, or if I wanted to do like a private stream just for sponsors, I could do that. I think that's what it is. But it's only for gaming channels at the moment. So hopefully, especially because I do like to stream, hopefully it rolls out onto just like regular channels that aren't gaming fairly soon, and we can dive into that and improve. Yeah, because Twitch does have the up on YouTube streaming, obviously. But I think YouTube is slowly catching up. Like, Super Chat's an awesome thing. I think YouTube Chat's just good because you can integrate it with your already established channel. You don't have two different things. What was the point of the Bruce Wayne name drop this season? Probably to bring some sort of like attention to Arrow. It was sort of stupid. Then they confirmed like a couple of weeks ago that what do you call it? That like it was just an Easter egg. I was like, well, no crap, no shit. It was an Easter egg. I knew that straight from the thing, and I was wondering like, why mention it? Like, why mention it? Because people are just gonna get annoyed when he doesn't appear. So why mention it? Just sort of dropped in, like, not mentioned at all. It didn't need to be mentioned either. So, yeah, I was sort of annoyed at it at the time. Like, if you watched my video, you would have known why that I was sort of annoyed. And at this point, I'm just like, well, I told you it was a stupid thing to happen. I'm not dabbing. This was a thing. People were going to donate to dab. Donate for me to dab, sorry, and I'm still never going to dab. Not happening on stream. Unless something ridiculous happens. Who do you think the Flash Season 5 villain is? I'd like to see Cobalt Blue. And I think they could end like the season on like a really cool cliffhanger with him. Like, not necessarily showing his face either. They could just show like part of his armor or like a very recognizable part of the Cobalt Blue suit, like the amulet or like the sword or something like that. Or even just like a glowing blue sort of like piece of clothing or armor or something like that. They could go with that. When do you think we'll see Black Flash again? I don't know. Hopefully soon. I don't think it's necessarily this season because there's not really Speedster involved. But they might do something. Well, I don't know. They might do something this season with him. Where there might be like a filler episode where they could integrate Black Flash. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to give a good sort of prediction on that. I don't know if it's just me, but Arrow has been really boring to watch this season. Yeah, definitely parts of it. It's just been sort of like average. That's the best way to put it. I think it's just the best way. It's just been very average and nothing's really excelled on it. That's probably the biggest issue with it. The Bruce Easter egg was Stephen Amell's idea. Yeah, I know. I heard about that he went to like Kevin Tsuchihara, who's I don't think any. Oh no, I think he's still. Is he at WB anymore? I'm not too sure. And Kevin Tsuchihara was like, yeah, you can do that, and I was like, oh, like okay, well. I prefer. That's not very good. So yeah, I heard that Stephen Amell was the one, but it wasn't like Stephen Amell was like, "We're putting it in." He asked, and they said, "Yeah, do that." So I don't know. Probably not the best option, to be completely honest. Thank you, Sam, for the $2 super chat. I'll be sure to read it after this on my Twitter. I will be sure to do that. How do you set up a super chat live stream? I don't know. I'm not too sure what you have to do to get super chat on your live stream. Do you think the way Black Flash died was stupid? Like, couldn't Killer Frost just... Well, he didn't die. Black Flash can't be killed. He's, like, eternal. So, what happened there is that Killer Frost just sort of halted him. So, like, basically, like, the best way to say it is, like, playing Call of Duty, you get shot, you lose a life, and you just spawn somewhere else. That's what would have happened to Black Flash. He was just halted there by Killer Frost, and he would have gone somewhere else. But by the time, yeah. So, that's what happened there. He didn't die. Like, that would have, if he did die, it would have been silly, but he didn't die at that stage. He just basically was taken down. He would have spawned elsewhere. What has been your favorite episode of Arrow ever? The torture scene episode from last season was very good. The torture episode, like the one where Adrian chases Oliver and he's like torturing him, that was pretty good. There was a couple. I think the episode just called Deathstroke in season 2 of Arrow was very good as well. There's a couple. There's a good handful of ones from season 2 which are very good. I think it's hard to pick one though, but those are the couple that I can think of. I know Deathstroke from season 2 of Arrow is a good one. And the mid-season finale for Arrow season 1 is good. I think even the finale for Arrow season 1 is very good as well. Do you think we'll see a Dr. Fate in any of the Arrowverse shows? Well, he's up there. They can do it if they want to. In the beginning of the crossover, it said something about Willa Holland, but she wasn't shown at all. If that was in the Arrow episode, that would have been due to the fact that they just play... Like, the thing is, at the beginning of those specific episodes for Arrow, they just play their normal credits. So Willa Holland is a normal character on Arrow, so that's why they would have played her. If you looked at them, Katie Cassidy was in there as well, but she wasn't in the crossover either. So I think that's what they're going there. Callum, that's actually a good question I was just about to bring up. We'll stream for about another 10 minutes, so any more super chats and questions you want to get in, be sure to get them in now, so we have, you know, a bit of time to have a bit of a chat. We get 10 minutes left, and then I'll upload a video about 10-15 minutes after that. Or video will go live, might I say, on the channel after that. Opinions on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't watched the rest. I stopped watching season 4 after Ghost Rider left, so I haven't watched this season at all, but I've heard it's good, so I might catch up. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I've said this before, favor or favor, I don't know how you pronounce the name, I'm sorry about that. I can't read every single comment. Like, that's the thing. Like, if I answer a question, there's going to be like 20 or 30 comments that I missed after I'm answering that question. You yawn a lot. Are you sleeping enough? I woke up like just over an hour ago, so that's why I'm yawning. I'm still sort of waking up. Because I woke up, was up for about 10 minutes and jumped on stream. Tharun with the £2 super chat. Do you think a person is going to die in the DC shows this year? Well, we already had one in the crossover, I guess, with Legends. Maybe on Arrow. Maybe. I wouldn't be counting on it though, but maybe on Arrow. I don't think anyone's going to die on Flash. I think Flash is safe. Mon-El might die on Supergirl. I'm pretty sure a lot of people wouldn't mind seeing that, but he might die. I think Mon-El's gone off the show regardless. I don't think he's going to stay into season 4 of Supergirl. So either he dies or he goes back to the 31st century. One of the two. But I can't see Mon-El. I just don't see his place. He just doesn't fit. He's just not... He fit last season for what they went with because he was like a big part of it. But like... What else are they going to do with him? Like, it's just going to be more romantic tension? Like, no, he's not that good of a character. Like, deep down, he can't carry a lot of his own stuff. Who was your favourite Black Canary? Probably Laurel, because I think she actually had a good journey. Like, Sarah's badass, and Dinah really doesn't have a story. Like, Dinah's story is a bit very average. Lennon, thanks for the £2 super chat. Do you like Ralph? Here's my favourite. Is Gotham good? I do like Ralph. I'm very much enjoying him. And Gotham is very good. Like, season 1 and 2 are very, very, very inconsistent. They're either, like, good or they're very bad. One of the two. Season 3 definitely picked it up. It did have some points where it was, like, really, really good, but then really bad at the same time. And season 4 has been pretty much very consistent. I can't think there's anything that's, like, too bad, apart from maybe Solomon Grundy. That's a bit, you know, what's going on there. Maybe get rid of him as soon as they can. But yeah, Gotham's pretty good. What is the name of my face cam? It's called inbuilt camera in the iMac. That's my face cam or webcam, what do you want to call it? Am I evil? I am the most evil. What do you think of the Legends mid-season finale? I was disappointed by it. It was probably the worst episode of Legends this season, just because of what had happened. Like, they had Martin Stein's death the episode beforehand, and then they sort of like mocked certain things about it and just felt really weird in the mid-season finale. I thought Jax's write-off was good, but there were just certain parts of that mid-season finale that were a bit... you could have done better there. Ralph on Legends. Probably not. I'd rather just see him stay on Flash. Season 4 of The Flash, is it good? I'm liking him more than... Oh, well, then again, I liked the first half of Season 3 of The Flash. It was really the back half that fell down the drain or went down the toilet. But yeah, I'm enjoying Season 4 of The Flash so far. I think it's tied second with Supergirl for best thing, and then first is Legends. Like, Legends has been the best. I don't think you can really argue that. If you watch Legends, you know it's the best. I think people that are saying that it isn't the best are people that don't watch Legends. V Lena with the $5 super chat, very much appreciated. When do you think the Arrowverse shows will be renewed? Last, it was the 8th of January 2017. Yeah, last season they got renewed really early, like extremely, like ridiculous early, like unseen early. I think that was so they could set up things for the next seasons, which Supergirl took advantage of. Flash definitely took advantage of. Arguably Legends did. I don't think Arrow necessarily did. because maybe with Caden James, that's about it. Usually I think they come around March. I think around March or even April at some points. They can be pretty late, but I'd expect it around March or late February. A renewal for the shows, or at least an announcement on some of them. I think Flash Supergirl is safe. It's really Legends and Arrow that are at risk. Legends based off its budget in comparison to how many views it gets, and Arrow just based off its ratings, because it's bordering around like some shows that will get cancelled. The thing that's going to help Arrow is the fact that it's been around for 6 seasons. Do you think any Arrowverse villain will get their own show? Well, there was a whole Deathstroke thing, but I knew that was never going to happen because I knew DC would never allow a Deathstroke show because of what was happening in the DCEU. So any villain, probably not. I'd be very surprised. They could do like a Reverse Flash sort of mini series if they want to do on CW, like an Origin. But for them as like an own show, I highly doubt it. It's a big risk to do that. Like, would people tune in weekly to watch that? Most likely not. At least enough to make it viable. So we'll stream for like literally another couple of minutes, guys. So any other questions or super chats you want to get in until we end. So yeah, 3 or 4 minutes. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Black Lightning? About an 8? Will Godspeed be one of the bus metas? Possibly. You'd have to think someone on that bus would have been given speed, just because they were hit with direct dark matter from the Speed Force, so... Elastigirl suit for Dibney. Probably, something like that. Have I watched Grey's Anatomy? I don't think I have. If I ever have, it must have just been because I was on TV and I was watching it in the background, but I don't think I've sit down specifically to watch it. Do you think Roy is Caden's son? No. Do you think we'll see Oliver lose his arm? No, that was like a distant future. If anything, we might see Roy lose his arm, but even then, I don't think that's going to happen. They've forgotten about Accelerated Man. Well, not really, because they never promised that he was coming back. There's a difference between forgetting and then just not promising anything. We could see him again this season in the 2-part story arc. They might go to like Earth 19 or something, but yeah, like they never promised he was coming back, so they didn't really forget about him. Do you think Richard Dragon will be as ruthless as he is in the comics? I think he will. I think he's going to kill Caden James in like a pretty brutal way. Do you think you're gay? Let's think about that for a second. What would you work if you weren't a YouTuber? Probably do my old job, to be completely honest. They made the costume for him, then didn't use it again. That's unusual. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the reason I think he will be coming back, but it's never like they promised that he was coming back, and that's why they've forgotten him. Like, there's spaces. It's like, there's a certain character coming back in episode 11 that we haven't seen since season 1, but they didn't forget about him. It's just that it wasn't the right time to bring him back. There's a difference between forgetting and then just waiting for the appropriate time to bring a character back. Like, really, where would the Accelerated Man have popped up after we saw him the first time? Like, maybe to take on Savitar, but really, what was his place in that fight? Like, was he personally affected by Savitar? Was he triggered by what Savitar had done? No, not really. There was no real place for him to come back. So you got to wait for a time that's actually appropriate for him to come back. Like, if they've forgotten about Jesse Quick because we haven't seen her for a while, well, no, it's just because there's no real proper time to bring her back. So I'll answer one more question, and then I'll actually end the stream, guys. Who's coming back in episode 11? Well, I actually have a video coming out on that in about 4 hours time, so you'll get it then. And yeah, that's my answer to that, and hopefully you watch that. But guys, thanks for watching. Very much appreciate that you tuned into the stream. I might stream for like 2 hours tomorrow at like probably around this time. A much longer stream because I might not upload a video specifically tomorrow, but I have to wait and see. If I upload a video tomorrow, then I might not stream. But I'll what do you call it? Like, schedule the stream so you guys will know what's going on. But thanks to everyone that tuned in. Thanks to everyone that super chatted as well, that supported the channel. And yeah, so that new video will be out in about 10-15 minutes time, so keep your eyes out for that. It'd be awesome if you could jump over there, drop a like on it, just show some support on it. And yeah, thanks for that, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.